Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. Tomorrow will be our Vesak. And I see that on the monitor there, that in Gold Forest, they're almost ready. They have the bathing the Buddha basin already. Can you see, as you look at the picture, at the photo there, that this basin here, it's just the right size for that small temple. I don't know how they got it. I think it's from Taiwan, right? It's fairly expensive. Because we bought two big ones, one for DTT and one for WMT. And it's nice that we have such a nice Dharma tool to celebrate one of the biggest assemblies in Buddhism, that is the Vesak, the birthday of the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha himself, right? So if you have the chance, you have time, please come and join us if you can. And furthermore, I also see that little boy there, little Evan. He's running around, pretty happy himself. I see him happier and happier and happier. It's nice to see that. When I first saw him a few years ago, he was a little bit, shall we say, shy, self-conscious, moody, depressed, maybe. Now look at him. Huh? Isn't that amazing? What does it tell you? It tells you that the boy has a lot of blessings. That's what happens. When you have blessings, you'll be happier. He seems to enjoy the temple. You bring children to the temple, it's very, very good for them. They absorb the good energy from all of you. I noticed that you old-timers are very kind. They're kinder, and you're kinder and kinder, which really pleases me to no end. You're kinder to new people. You're kinder to young people. You're kinder to old people. You're kinder to... you're a lot more tolerant. And that's what kindness is about. Okay, so anyway, it's to me, it makes me happy to see that people are improving. I saw yesterday after I came back, and I had my online class for Asia. That's Friday afternoon here, California time. And I saw that the students online have been improving too. They're working hard. They're working hard in China, in Korea, and they are encouraging each other. They're kind to each other and they are encouraging each other to apply themselves. And it shows. It shows that the ladies have been improving. And what happens when they improve? They look sharper, they look younger. I don't know if that matters to them, but anyway, so how's everyone? Do you have any questions or comments? It takes a lot of blessings for you to be able to come to the temple regularly. Trust me. It takes blessings. You don't take it lightly. The fact you're able to make it to the temple is a lot harder than you think, because your karmic obstruction will stop you from coming. You always come up with so many reasons not to go to the temple. That's your karmic obstructions. And unless you have blessing, there's not a whole lot we can do. When I went to Portugal recently for a mini chanchi there by invitation of the locals, local disciples of ours. I had lunch with them and I talked. And I said, I just said nonsense as usual every day. You give me food, I talk about anything. and we talk, and all of a sudden I said, wow, that's interesting how the old-timers have been improving and newcomers really have a hard time keeping up. And because let's face it, life is stressful for all of us, making ends meet and trying to keep up with the jobs and the family needs and personal needs. It's just too much. Life is overwhelming. So it's understandable. It's very difficult for you to make time to go to the temple for this concept thing like taking care of yourself, like being good to yourself. There's really no concrete evidence that is actually beneficial to you. And so it's very difficult. That's why I like to stress to all of you, if you are able to come regularly, it takes a lot of blessings. And that's why when you see newcomers, be kind to them. I told them the same thing. I said, these new people are joining us here. Be kind to them because most of them will not make it back. Once is all the blessings they have. Okay, so I said the thing of Chan is that I've been teaching Chan for a long time, like 16 plus years, and I've been practicing Chan for almost 3 decades now. That's the longest thing I've ever done in my entire life, besides eating pizza. Okay, so I said, I'm beginning to understand more about what it takes to teach Chan, what it takes to practice Chan. I told them, my Portuguese audience, my Portuguese lunch mates, I said, this Chan thing here, the number one requirement is blessings. Okay, you need to have a lot of blessings, because when you have blessings, you do the right things. You do things that are beneficial to yourself. And that when you have problems, your blessing will take care of it. Take it, for example, very much like people usually equate blessings with money. It's not quite the case. But it's just like when you have money, you go hungry. When you have money, when you're hungry, you have so many options. You can go here in the US, we can go to McDonald's, or you can go to the French restaurant, Denise, or you can go Thai, you can go Vietnamese, pho. Pho is also in Portugal, by the way. Pho is also all over Europe. See, the Vietnamese pho is everywhere. Of course, it's in Korea. The Koreans are crazy about pho. Okay, next to our temple at Jewel Kong, it's like a block away is a pho restaurant. Okay, anyway, so you have so many options here in the U.S. And that's what happens. If you have money, you're hungry, you can eat anything you feel like. And that's the nature of blessings. The blessings will not allow you to be hungry. You don't have to be a victim of your difficulties, of your sufferings. Somehow your blessings will make things happen to take care of you. And that's includes money. I explained to them that you Portuguese don't realize it, but actually money is just a manifestation, a physical manifestation of blessings. Without blessings, you won't have any money. Okay, it's nothing to be proud of that I'm rich and so forth. Buffet, for example, Mr. Buffett, is it Buffett or Buffet? I don't remember anymore. He's too old anyway. Mr. Buffet, for example, he makes a lot of money because he has blessings. Don't think because he's smart. Smart is just a small aspect of his blessings. Okay? It's a blessing underneath that manifests itself as being smart, manifests itself as living in Omaha and in the boonies back then, and finding suckers to give you money to invest in the stock market when you knew nothing at all. Okay, and after 20 years, he figured out what to do. Okay, so he took those suckers initially to give him $10,000, $20,000. Okay, and he's sitting on billions of dollars. And what does he do all day? Read. Okay, so Buffet is basically rich because he has blessings. After he dies, I tell you why he has blessings, because he's a sage. I cannot tell you which level he is because he's still alive. It's not polite, okay? But if he's dead, I tell you, he's wasting his life, you ask me. Anyway, he has too many blessings to be wasting it on just making money. Oh God, that's a horrible, horrible thing to do. All you do all day long is dream of new ways to make more money. Oh my God, that's a icky thing to do. There's so many wonderful things in life you could do with your time, instead of just dreaming of making more and more money. What kind of nonsense is that for someone who has wisdom? I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah? That means I don't have any wisdom, clearly. Okay, but he has wisdom? I don't. That's why I don't get it. Okay? I feel that if you truly have wisdom, you find a way to have meaning in life. Because when you get older, you're still young, except for this ex-Catholic nun here. Okay. And that lady there too. But let me tell you, when you get older, and one day you wake up and you realize you're old, and what do? The first thought that comes to you after the thought says, "Oh my God, I'm old." Okay, what's the next thought that comes? What have I done with my life? Let me tell you, hey, young man, someday you face that situation. I faced a situation when I was, guess what ripe age? 42. I said, what did I do with my life? My God, I shaved my head. This doesn't make sense. I can't shave my head, give up everything to be a loser. And I can't go back to become a worse loser. Return to a lay life. So anyway, it's a terrifying thought that your life has no meaning whatsoever. You're only born to eat, to drink, have fun, chase women in my case. And then what? Nothing. Nothing makes sense. And anyway, if you have blessings, your life will have meaning. You're doing something that's meaningful in your life. Not like Mr. Buffet, who chases after money. To me, is the ickiest thing you can do is to chase after money. Why? It's nonsense. You have blessings. Eventually, your blessing will manifest itself as money. So instead of making money, which is to withdraw your blessings, you should be creating more blessings. Does it make sense? If you really believe the fact that money is just a physical manifestation in your blessings, shouldn't you be creating blessings instead of making money? I tell you, I share with you something. We monks and nuns are poor. Okay? Does it mean we don't have blessings? Au contraire. Is that the proper pronunciation, sister? Au contraire. I don't know, but the American, au contraire. No, French is au contraire. It's very soft, elegant. Not American, au contraire. Anyway, it's just the opposite. We monks and nuns, most of us, used to be kings and emperors, including the nuns. They used to be men. Okay? Emperors. Yeah, you better believe it. Look at that. Oh my God, my own disciples, my own nun says, really? Have I tried to pull your leg? Oh, yet? The last 20 years, how long has it been? 18 years? 15 years. We've been together 15 years. Have I ever tried to pull your leg? Don't answer that. It turns out, you know why? What's the proof? Master YongHua says, every morning we do our morning ceremony at 4 in the morning at our temples. And in that recitation ceremony, we recite the Shrangava mantra, 554 lines or something like that, okay? And that, if you recite it like that every day, you have the emperors of blessings. So it's not just us, but all the monks and nuns. They have a lot of blessings, trust me. And how did they end up being beggars? They hide their blessings. Don't you get it? No one believes me. Look at these faces. Yeah, right. These people have a lot of blessings. And what's the best kind of blessings? Best kind of blessings is that you only get what you need, no more. Rich people, they withdraw too much blessings, too many blessings that manifest as money. Okay? That's a withdrawal of blessings. Monks and nuns, these people have a lot of blessings. That's why they're poor. Never mind. It doesn't make sense to you, right? It's okay. Some things are not meant for you to understand. Okay, anyone has any questions? Yes, sir. 2.
Thank you, Masters. I would like to ask for young people, when we were able to go to the temples, which means we have blessing enough to go to the temple. So which are the ways we can try to plan more blessing for ourselves?
Very good.
Because in our society nowadays, with very consumerism and taking money as a social status, how do we deal with that for younger people?
Okay, very good. So 2 questions here. Number 1, how do I create more blessings? Because blessing is so important, okay? And number 2, in today's society, especially Western society, young people, money is sort of status or success, a gauge of success. Therefore, how can we deal with that? How's the best way to deal with it, right? Okay, first question. Since we need a lot of blessings to practice, to cultivate, how do we create blessings? Fundamentally, when you practice Mahayana, the first thing we teach you is to practice giving. You want to plant blessings, you practice giving. Okay? When you give $1, there's a multiplier that comes back to you in blessings. For example, you give $1 to a beggar out there, okay? And when you give the $1 right there, your blessings are created by a multiplier. Usually could be $1 worth you give the beggar, your blessings is equivalent to $5, for example. Make sense? Okay? So if the beggar really needs money, when, for example, someone is hungry and you say, okay, here, I tell you what. Or I saw it happen at the grocery lines, there's checkout lines quite often. There's a lady who's fumbling and couldn't find is short like $5 for her groceries, and someone behind her would say, you know what, can I pay for for the difference here? And that's so is that a total stranger would give someone $5 so that she gets all the groceries that she wanted. Okay, that act of kindness there for $5. Okay, that multiply would be around maybe $50 worth of blessings coming back to that person. Does it make sense to you? When you give it to someone in need, multiply is bigger. The bigger the need, the bigger the multiplier. So far, so good? Okay. And so that's what you do. You practice giving, so when you give, you never lose. This is fundamentally Buddhist wisdom. When you give, you never lose. Remember that. Never. You may not, of course, when you give, of course, you suffer some material losses. You give a car away to NPR, for example, because they encourage you to give away your old car and you're not driving anymore, okay? You never lose. Your blessings come back into the equivalent of monetary value of that car you give away times the multiplier. Is that clear? That's how it works. Yes, sir. One needs clarification.
Thank you, Master. Does it work the same way for offenses? So if we slender, for example, a sage, it multiplies, like if we offend or slender like a regular person?
Yeah, it works out the same way. So instead of giving, that's it. So, okay, let me get to that point. Suppose it's not just the need thing, but also who you give to. That's also important, okay? For example, if you give money to a regular person, $1, okay? As compared to give $1 to a sage, which is much higher status, much higher level of wisdom, okay? The multiplier for a sage could be like 10,000, 1 million, 10 million. So you give $1 to a sage like Master YongHua, you're getting about $100,000 to $10 million, $100 million in blessings. $1 nets you that many blessings. Meaning what? You have blessings worth $100 million. Isn't that cool? So you're richer than you look. Isn't that amazing? Wouldn't that be cool? That's why you can walk and you go home and say, honey, you're married to a very rich guy. Wouldn't that be cool? Then the ego goes back and tells his wife, honey, I'm very low key, but you're looking a very rich dude. Yes, sir.
She doesn't believe me, Master. She
doesn't believe me. Well, doesn't always work. But the blessing is still yours, whether they believe or not. Doesn't matter. Got that? Okay. So you give it to the sage is so the multiply is much bigger. This is documented. It was taught, explained in the sutra in 42 sections by Shakyamuni Buddha. We have an explanation there, a book on that sutra. I think the blessings from giving or something like that. Look it up. I think so. Do we have any copies left for free? Huh? Okay. Anyway, you can find an online copy too. So you see, when you give to a sage, the blessing is far greater than the low-level people. Okay? And since you give, you get so many blessings. What about if you steal a $1 from the sage? Same principle. It's better to steal from a boy, okay, than from a sage. Make sense? You steal from a boy, you steal $1, you lose $5 worth of blessings, let's say. When you steal from a sage, you're losing big time. I did, by the way. I went to Master Shinhua's temples, and I didn't know any better. They had this tree there with the orange things. What is it called? Not kumquat. It's a season right now. Huh? Loquat. You know loquat? In our temple in LMT, the loquats is a season right now. Yes, isn't it? Something like that. And it's full of birds. They're eating our loquats constantly. They're stealing from us, the birds. Damn birds, excuse me. Okay, lucky we're not sages, so it's okay. So when you steal, so I saw the loquats, and I said, wow, it looks so juicy. So I reached up, I didn't know any better. So I took it, I ate it, and said, wow, this is good. So I stole from Master Shinhua. Guess what? That's why I'm so poor nowadays. Okay? Yes. So for the sages, when you give to them, you get a lot of blessings. When you steal from them, you lose a lot of blessings. Not just stealing. For example, we have people who vandalize the Earth Store Sutra and the Earth Store statue in front. Oh, those poor people, they can go to the hells. And so, do we have any more things they could steal? The same guy will come back. Never mind. Okay. Be nice. Be nice. Okay. Where were we again? Okay. So the reverse is also true. If you give, you get a lot of blessing. You steal, you lose a lot of blessings. That's why it never pays to steal, by the way. Never. No need to steal. Yes, 7. You want to make a confession?
Actually, yes, but first we have a YouTube question, Master.
Okay.
I'd like to first provide my sincere gratitude to our YouTube audience who's joining us from everywhere in the Saha world.
Uh-huh.
Please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
Amen.
Rage Wong asks, Master, doesn't someone who steals from a sage become more karmically binded to the sage as well?
Yeah, that's what happened. What happened is in the past, there are people who came to the temple and stole from not just sage, from monks, regular monks, not even sages yet. And guess what? In subsequent lives, they became a buffalo for the temple. So the temple was whip him every day to plow the thing. Oops, I shouldn't be laughing. See, it never pays to steal. It doesn't matter who you steal from. It's a bad mistake. Don't steal, okay? It's not worth it. Give and don't steal. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Master. It occurs to me, and I appreciate the gentleman's question about how to build blessings, but also to protect our blessings is important too, correct?
Yeah, but now we're talking a different topic. Yeah. Don't worry about it. I would, the first thing we teach you is to create more and more blessings. Okay. In fact, the Buddha says, for us Buddhists people who really believe in Mahayana, we are constantly creating blessings. I'm creating blessings. My master is creating blessings day and night. His Dharma door of Master YongHua is create blessings. Do you know that? He didn't meditate. He didn't do much except create blessings by practicing giving 24 hours a day. Isn't that amazing? Maybe he slept about 2 hours a day, so 22 hours. 22 hours non-stop of creating blessings. It's so cool. That's the kind of wisdom that he has. So remarkable. Okay. So you create blessings, and of course we're going to make mistakes. We're going to burn up blessings. That's natural. We all make mistakes. It's no big deal. Okay. Just keep on creating more and more blessing. Do not ever assume it's enough. We never have enough blessings. That's why I learned from Master YongHua. The thing of the sage's level, so high, so advanced, he said, I should have enough. But no. He kept on creating blessings, more and more and more. Okay? So that's point number one. You want to create blessing, you practice giving. Number two, you can also practice chant. You cross your legs like that, you're creating a lot of blessings. That's why a lot of people who come to our temple, who really, especially Westerners or new students, who don't, where we can't tell you practice giving because you think we're trying to pick your pocket. Okay, is a difficulty here in the modern era. In China, people who come to the temple, culturally, they're known, they're taught, they are brainwashed to make offerings to the temple. In the West, we don't have such a wise tradition. So if we try to avoid doing things that would give you hints, give you ideas. We're trying to pick your pocket, so we can't tell you. Okay. So what happened is that for those of you who are able to cross your legs like that, it's because you have prior blessings. There's nothing we can do. You don't have blessing, you cannot cross legs. That's how it is. Okay. And so that's why I said I told the Portuguese, you need to have blessings, create more blessings. Okay. Now, answer to the second question. He said, "What about young people who are money crazy? Money is like a measure of success, measure of self-worth, and so forth. What, especially for young people, not just young people, Western educated people. That's their weakness, by the way. We Western educated people, I'm among you." Is that we gauge our success by how much money we can have, how much we have in properties. Whether I gauge my success in what? Having a red car or not. So today I'm pretty unsuccessful. But no one cares. Yes, 7.
Thank you, Master. I was reading an article online about a trending topic in Chinese social media for young people right now. Mm-hmm. Forgive me if my
do share with us.
Forgive me if my pronunciation of the word is wrong, but I think the concept in China is zhuan, Z-H-U-A-N. It's like the things that are important to
赚钱 Huh?
谢谢.
So to earn money, right?
Yeah, to earn money, yeah.
To gain money.
Yeah, it's like home, car, wife, or like the principles of the concept that the article talked about.
Temples, yeah.
And young people right now are posting screenshots of their bank accounts because they're saying, hey, I'm 26 years old, I've invested in my education, and so far I've been able to save 26 cents of my entire life.
Wow.
And it's trending. It's a big deal because the social norm used to be if you don't have 1,000,000 yuan in your bank account, then you're not a real person.
Right. No one's going to marry you.
So I find it fascinating.
So it's trending, meaning what? It's like real. Is the social norm now, or what?
Meaning that on their social media platform, hundreds of thousands of young Chinese are posting pictures of their bank accounts, commiserating that they've saved 14 cents, 26 cents, $5 for their entire life so far. They live paycheck to paycheck.
Wow. Not just China, it's in a lot of countries. It's that way.
And to your point, if the best blessings are the kind that give you exactly what you need, perhaps they're receiving some of the best blessings right now.
No. No, when I said the best blessings is when you don't waste your blessings by excessive withdrawals. Also in the context of doing something important with your life to increase your blessings instead of withdrawing your blessings, wasting your blessings. Every time that you use up money comes your way, your blessings is fewer, is lessened, fewer and fewer. That's just life, okay? So if you have a lot of money in those bank accounts, meaning you have some blessings have to be transformed into yuan, into the Chinese money. And so it's a withdrawal. So in a way, it's not necessarily a good thing. Maybe the blessings are saved to find a rich wife. That works for me. I mean, it used to work for me.
Well, and thank you, Master. Thank you for clarifying. I wanted to use this example to express my empathy for young people who feel like they can't make enough money. I've felt that way in my life. It can feel overwhelming.
Yes.
And I
was poor too. Yeah, very poor. In college, and in life.
I wanted to share that when I started crossing my legs and cultivating, it didn't cost me anything, but I was able to start investing in myself for free. And that helped me with a lot of different things in the years to come.
Well, when you do spiritual practices, whether it's meditation, reciting Buddha's name, recite mantras, or even practicing giving to the triple jewel, that's also part of the spiritual practice, by the way. Remember, in Mahayana, in our world, you start first by giving. Giving is spiritual practice. You cannot separate that from the spiritual practice. Okay? It's wrong. If you practice meditation and you don't practice giving, your Chan practice, your Zen practice is incomplete. And it's kind of hard to tell you Western educated people that, okay, without risking you misinterpreting as my trying to pick your pocket, trying to take advantage of your still being gullible. Okay? But giving, if you understand the importance of giving to generate blessings, that is Chan practice, by the way. Okay? Like I explained to you earlier, Master YongHua, he didn't meditate anymore. He spent all day. I came to saw him when he was on his last few months. The last few months of his life, I came and saw him. I asked him to leave the home life. Look at him. He looked at me and said, "Okay." I said, "That's it." He said, "Go, okay, go." He said, I don't have a good relationship with my master. I don't know why I adore him so much. He's so mean to me. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I don't want you to have to feel sorry for me. Okay? I'm tough. Anyway, where was I again? I'm still a little bit bitter. If I'm crying, it's some dust in my eyes. Okay, so where was I again? See, I get emotional. I lose track of my... Why are you so mean to me? I don't get it. Yes, Evan.
Thank you, Master. We have a YouTube question.
Yes.
Shannon asks, Master, after I meditate, chant, or do the morning ceremonies when cultivating at home, do I need to say out loud that I'm doing this for the good of everyone?
No, you're just doing it for your own good. And then after you have all those blessings for doing the spiritual thing, crossing your legs, chanting, and so forth, even like giving, and at the end of the day, you should say, okay, all the blessing I generated, let's give it away. We crazy. We're teaching you all the crazy things. Okay? At the end of the day, you should be, this is a professional secret, you should be doing a transference. Give away all your good stuff. When you do that, guess what? The way we teach you, it comes back. And multiply, remember? Okay? We deal in fictitious blessings. I mean, not fictitious. Paper blessings. It's all wisdom here. If you create good blessings, at the end of the day, give them away. Do a transference. And we should make it available. If you guys are interested, learn that, recite that short verse right there. It only takes 1 minute, okay, 60 seconds, and you are multiplying your blessings big time. Okay? So maybe you only get to do $1 worth of blessings today. By the end of the day, you give it away the way that we teach you, the way we all do in our world. Boy, are you getting like 10,000 times. 1,000, 10,000 times the blessing you created during the day. Wouldn't that be cool? Professional secrets, guys. That's how we became monks. Never mind. Became beggars. Okay? Oh, okay. So anyway, so we're still in the subject of why do I remember now? Why do we? What about young people? Why are they so crazy about money? It's okay. Embrace them. Okay? It's because their parents never taught them. It's all the parents' fault. Okay? If you're a parent, you should prepare your children better. Teach them about blessings, for example, to accrue blessings. Okay? And if you have blessings, you will not be impressed with money. How's that? Let's say you have $1 trillion worth of blessings, and someone gives you a red car. Would you be impressed? Heck no. I'd be impressed, but you wouldn't be impressed if you have that many blessings. You don't believe me? Try me. Never mind. I tried everything. Nothing worked so far. Anyway, so what about young people? The question there is, I caution you against judging people. Just because we know better doesn't mean that we should judge others who are confused. How's that? Okay? So if young people are money crazy and they use it as a gauge of their success, so be it. Embrace them. It's okay. Okay? And that's why we have the Eiffel Tower. That's why we have all these inventions in the world, because people are crazy for money. Okay? Buffet, I make fun of him, but actually his money is spent on charity, on helping others. It's a good thing to do. Okay? So it's always plus and minuses. Don't judge people. Embrace them. If young people are like that, just say, okay, I understand. How about you buying me a nice bottle of wine, and let's enjoy together. Huh? You rich, I'm not. Is that okay? And there's better things to do with our lives and be so stuck up on money, on success. It's okay. Embrace them. Okay? Don't judge them. If they don't know any better, that's okay. Let's make sure that we don't say anything, don't criticize them, and teach our children, our nephews and nieces, people who we care, the younger ones, say, hey, you should know better, okay? It's about blessings. It's not about money. Life is never about money. That's why it's something I couldn't understand back then. When my master YongHua said, he said, money is such a dirty thing. And I said, for me, being, Western educated, I say, what? I spent half my life chasing after money, and now you tell me that I chase after dirty things? I couldn't accept it, seriously. So it's difficult for people to accept the concept that money is dirty. It's not that desirable. Okay, but if you have wisdom, people who have wisdom like Master YongHua, they're not crazy about money, trust me. Therein lies my claim that why is Mr. Buffet, who has wisdom, would be so money crazy. That doesn't make sense to me. That's baffling to me. Okay? Any other question? Does it answer your question? Don't judge them. Embrace them. It's okay. Okay? And, I instead of criticizing them, I said, do you like sailing? Have you tried sailing? You buy a sailboat and I will help you learn how to sail. Yes, 5.
From Ray Zhuang, Master, does it matter which transference verse we use? There's the one at the end of sutras and another one at the end of ceremonies.
Yeah, no, the sutras are different kind of transferences. You should use a proper transference. You should use that one that we use. How people can show you. Okay, use that. That's the best one. Okay, best all-purpose, if you will, all-purpose flower. All-purpose transference. You will not believe. I just came back from Europe. Let me tell you. Can we talk honestly? Neapolitan pizza over here, it sucks. It's fantastic in Europe. I thought I found, the greatest Neapolitan pizza here in the U.S. So I went to Europe and said, I don't think this can be bested. And guess what? I took one bite of the European Neapolitan pizza. I said, oh, yeah. It's incredible. When it's done perfectly, it's sublime. And guess what? It costs only 8 euros. Here, it costs us $20 for a Neapolitan pizza. It's nowhere near the quality. I don't know how the Europeans stay so skinny. Because it's so cheap. I be eating Neapolitan pizza all day. Oh well. How do we get there again? 7.
Thank you, Master. I wanted to ask, how is the climate?
The climate?
In Portugal?
In Portugal, it's pretty good. Actually, quite nice because Lisboa is by the ocean. So you have a constant sea breeze. The air is very fresh. Okay? And they have a lot of seafood. Okay? And the things about those places is that they don't. They have things that are the food is so cheap. So, for example, seafood pasta. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be vegetarian, but what the heck? It is so good. Okay, it's in Ever tried seafood pasta here? Fresh seafood and cooked with pasta. It is, it's so good. I just don't. I had to try. Can I try it? I had to try it because I was curious. Okay, the top places have seafood pasta, and it's good and it's so affordable. Yes, sir. Now he's interested. Yes, 4.
Thank you, Master. In Chand, we talk a lot about non-striving.
Non-what?
Striving.
Non-striving, yes.
But in my mind, without striving, how do we achieve good things? Like how do we as a society end injustice? Or how do past scientists find the cure for incurable diseases or fight climate change, which are things that I think are insurmountable, but how can we arrive at those good things without striving?
Okay, very good. Answer him. Someone. Brady, answer him. Let me think. Why I'm thinking. I'm glad someone brought me back to reality, and there's a Chan class here and not seafood pasta. Yes, sir.
Well, it should become less of a process of striving and more of a process of accomplishing your goals in Buddhism to achieve wisdom. And with the wisdom, you usually can figure out things that before seemed pretty insurmountable.
Okay, anyone else? Striving. He's reasonable. Yeah, you should get used to these types of questions. Master Z, how do you answer this? How can we chance non-striving, and if we don't strive, we don't try hard, how are we going to create the Eiffel Tower? How are we going to make advances in sciences? How can we build hospitals? How can we discover new cures for new diseases? Yes? How do you answer that?
Master, I think we have the striving for the good things as would acceptable for the first step of practice. So we still allow that, and then
allow what?
Allow for striving for good things. And then later, if you practice more, and then you can be less detached to things than you do.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Anyone else? Precisely. You see, he understands. That's very good. And the explanation can be a little bit more polished, but he understands. What he's saying is the answer is this. Okay? The objective of Chan is ultimately no striving. Okay? But in order to get there, we need to strive first. Okay? You strive in order you need to drive to get there. That's necessary. Okay? You need to drive to accomplish big things. That's normal. Okay? But you need to strive yourself in order to improve, for example. You want to practice Chan, if you want to improve, you need to work hard. You need to work harder. That's inherent in our training process. So, but eventually, at first you start with working harder, trying more and more and more, trying more, so that you can eventually open your wisdom, unfold your wisdom. Then when your wisdom unfolds at the level of enlightenment, of the first ground bodhisattva, I'm very precise, that's when you be taught about non-striving. Okay? What will you be taught? At those levels, you be taught non-striving in this sense. Striving and yet non-striving. That's wisdom. You are striving. So even enlightened people like Master YongHua, he's working hard to spread Buddhism. So he explained more and more sutras, invested more and more into new disciples, more disciples. Okay, invested in more temples when he didn't need any more temples. He said, I'm getting all these temples for you generations, future generations. We're not talking about my generation, he's talking about future generations. Because my generation, we don't need that many temples because we don't have enough manpower. Okay? He says, in the future generations, you don't have the blessings that I do, so I'm generating temples for you to use later. Okay, later generations. And so even Master YongHua, after he's enlightened, he's still working even harder than before he was enlightened. However, what's the difference? Before he was enlightened, he saw himself as working harder and harder. After he became enlightened, he doesn't see it as working harder anymore. He sees it as living. No more striving. Does it make sense? You're striving right now because you can't do it. Well, if once you can do it, you say, hey, it's natural for me to do more and more and more and more. Why? Because I can. And I'm supposed to. Okay? So at that advanced level, at the enlightened people level, you have striving and yet you're not striving. At our levels, we're striving and we're striving, we're striving, we're striving, we struggle. And it's required to unfold our wisdom. In order to open our wisdom, we need to strive harder and harder and harder initially. Okay? Good question. And finally, let me finish my point number 2. Number 1, I said, you have blessings. I told my Portuguese friends, and you need blessings. There's nothing I can do. Blessing you have to generate for yourself. I can't do it for you. Okay? And number 2, what is the number 2 things that you need in order to practice? You need to have the need to practice. You don't need to practice. That's, for example, you have money, you have the wine, all the champagne, all the caviar, and the yachts, and the money you need, okay, for everything in life. Why would you need Chan? But such people, one day they wake up and say, wait a minute, I'm sick. I have brain tumors. The doctor says it's multiplying very quickly. I have 2 months left to live. That's what happens with brain tumors, by the way. It's very, very dangerous. They multiply constantly. Okay? Even rich people, happy people, successful people are not above that. The karmic retributions. When you have such needs, then you come to Chan. Maybe you can help you. Unless you have needs, we can't help you. If you have everything you need in life, you have a happy family life, you have happy children, you have happy career, you have success in your life, you don't need us. Okay, because we're losers. Okay? But when someday, when you say, I'm sick, or my mother is dying, she's frightened out of her wits. Has a lot of money, but she's frightened of the impending death. What can I do to help her? It's going to happen to me too. We're talking about real needs now. Until that happens, there's no point in practicing Chan. The clearer your needs, the quicker you make progress in Chan. That's all. The clear, if your needs are still not clear, then it's a little bit harder for you to practice Chan. All right? Okay, we stop here today. Thank you all for coming. I see you next time. Let's go to lunch.